This is world-renowned sports writer Bob Ryan, and you're about to witness a signature voice production.
Hello and welcome to opening day here at Gibson Field. I'm Kevin Prake, along with my cameraman Jameson Smith and my statistician Nicholas McGregor, and we're here to bring you varsity baseball action, featuring the Foxboro Warriors and the Canton Bulldogs. Who will win? Who will lose? It's opening day. Find out next. And we are almost ready to start the first game of the Canton Bulldogs baseball season. The past couple of games have gotten postponed due to rain and snow, and that is a first pitch of the season. What a ball. 1-0 the count. Very windy day here at Gibson Field. And that was a strike, 1-1 the count. As Kevin Powers is your pitcher for the Canton Bulldogs here on opening day. And that is a strike. 1-2 the count. As Foxboro is up first. Here's the away team, and that ball is a chopper down the left field, down to the right field, and it is tagged by the spectacular left-hander, Sean Doyle. So that is 1 out here in the top of the first inning. As we have the next batter up, and the wind is picking up. It is a fierce wind here at Gibson Field. The Foxboro batter takes his stance, the swing, and it is foul tipped off into the fence behind the umpire. And that will be strike one. 0-1 the count. Powers sets up. The pitch is right back to him. Powers throws the ball to Doyle. Doyle records his second out of the top of the first inning. So now we have number 11 coming up here for the Foxboro Warriors. He's the third batter of this inning. The third batter the Bulldogs have faced all year. Powers lines up. The pitch is hit. And that is foul. 0-1 the count. Pitch. And that is a hit batsman, as number 11 will take his base. It's the first walk given up all season by the Bulldogs. As Kevin Powers gets set to face his next batter. And it will be number 9. And that is a strike. 0-1. This is a great day for baseball besides the wind. And that is a ball, 1-1. Number 9 takes his stance and awaits the pitch. And there is a check over at first base, and he is safe. And Powers winds up to pitch to number 9. That is a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Foxboro hitter. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And that is a stolen base for the Foxboro Warriors, as the runner who was hit and took his base as he was hit by a pitch just stole second base. And that is a hit going far into the outfield. But it will be foul. So number 11 for the Foxboro Warriors goes back to second base, and we resume this at bat. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. There is no score. Powers winds up. The pitch is hit a little grounder towards the Bulldog dugout. Powers gets set. The pitch is fouled right up towards where we're stationed here at Gibson Field. And number 9 is definitely making Powers work for this at bat. The count is still 1-2. The pitch is strike 3, and that will be all for number 9 as Kevin Powers records his first strikeout of the game. At the end of the top of the first inning, the score is the Foxboro Warriors 0, the Canton Bulldogs 0, and the Bulldogs will be at bat for the first time this season. And here we go with the Bulldogs' first at bat of the season as number 19 Pesha steps up to the plate. And the first pitch is a ball, 1-0.
I don't think we're in it.
To the first Canton hitter of the season, the 2016 season, as we are here on opening day at Gibson Field. The second pitch is another ball, 2-0 the count. As number 19 Pesha is the catcher for the Canton Bulldogs, so he was now batting, so he's playing both sides now. Just a minute ago he was catching, now he's batting. And that was another ball, 3-0 the count. To Pesha. As number 5 is pitching for Foxboro. And that will be a 4-pitch walk. And the first hitter for Canton all season will get on base. It's a 100%, that's 1,000% OBS actually. And there we go. So number 14 Powers is now up at bat for the Bulldogs, as Casamento is pitching for the Foxboro Warriors. He winds up. The pitch is a strike. 1-1 the count. And there's a check at first base, and he will be safe. So Pesha remains on first base.
Not too close. Good point.
It's okay if I don't get the picture.
Need height.
And the pitch is a wild one, but still in the catcher's glove. 2-1 as Powers takes time
The picture is first base.
as he steps out of the batter's box. Even a glorious day for baseball. Takes some practice swings, and after that meeting at the mound, we are back and ready. Here we go. Powers getting set for the next pitch for number 5 from Foxboro.
So, they got 3-0. What's going on?
The first inning was scoreless for Foxboro. Kelly, he got hit by a pitch.
And that is a swing and a hit for number 14 Powers as he gets a single for the Bulldogs. So the first 2 hitters for the Bulldogs get on base.
Griffin Jerry up to bat for Canton in this opening day of baseball. Fantastic weather outside. It's not snowing. It's not raining. Canton looking to start out their season strong. Here comes the pitch. And it is foul chipped off the bat of number 9, Griffin Jerry, the senior. And we have a 1-0 score in favor of Foxboro.
Okay. Joe Pesha just scored.
Yeah, but when you say it'd be good to me. Here's the count, and here's the pitch. What's the count? You gotta keep track of that, buddy. You gotta pay way more attention. I'm serious.
I still have the line.
I'm serious here. And we await the pitch. Let's wind up in the throw, and it is hammered deep into right field. And it will be caught as they pop out. Whoever's on and out for number 9, Griffin Jerry.
Challenge.
As the first out of the bottom of the first, as Canton has the lead 1-0. Sean Doyle up to the plate. The outstanding left-hander. The pitch is a check on first base for number 14, Kevin Powers. And Kevin Powers is going to steal second base, and he will be safe by a long mile as that ball dribbles in after Kevin Powers slides headfirst into the middle base. The second stolen base this inning. Powers takes a very successful lead and now goes to steal third, and he will be safe, and that ball is over the head of third baseman as Kevin Powers will easily score for the second run of this inning for Canton. Cavossa on the mound for the Foxboro Warriors. That ball is hammered by the left-hander and is heading deep into the backfield, and it lands straight in center field as number 34, Doyle, will make it a single down the line. Jim Jenkins, the senior, number 18, is up for Canton. Canton looking to add to their 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. It's opening day here at Gibson Field. A glorious day. It's not snowing, it's not raining. It's a great day for baseball. Doyle takes his lead. And that is ball. One ball for Jim Jenkins. You gotta tell me each time. What's the count? That ball shouts it over the grate, and it is way out of the park. Foul ball, 1-1. To be able to wind up. The ball's in the dirt. 2-1 the count. As number 5 for Foxboro is on the mound. Cavossa with the pitch, and it is again foul tip by the senior number 18, Jenkins, as the count is now 2-2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Ball's in the dirt again, and we have a full count. Jim Jenkins is working the pitcher after a number of successful quick hits off of the same pitcher. Cavossa payoff pitch is lining straight deep into the almost the foul tip line off the first baseline, and it will be a catch. It will be a first base hit. That's single for number 18, Jim Jenkins. And Hamrock, number 3, is up for the Bulldogs. As there's still only one out in the bottom of the first inning, and that is the strike one 0-1 the count, as we have runners on first and second, Canton looking to add to their 2-0 lead. That ball is deep in the break, and that is a pass ball, and the runners will advance to second and third base. Count is 1-1 to Jenkins, number 3.
When people steal bases, should I try to phone that?
If they're in the field, if they're in the camera's lens, get it, but don't try to get the outfield. Don't try to stay within the region you are. And that is a strike.
Try to stay within this diamond.
Yeah, we're right. Yeah, try to stay within the inner part, where the dirt is. Try to stay within that.
Okay.
And the pitch is nailed right to the shortstop. And he'll be safe at home. Is Doyle with the slide. Number 34, the left-hander, increases Canton's lead by 1, making it 3-0. What a great play by Mr. 34, Sean Doyle. And Mike McMahon, the two-sport athlete, is up at the plate. Football in the fall, baseball in the spring for the senior, as Jimmy Hamrock is on first base, as he's wearing number 3. And here comes the pitch. We have runners on the corners. And McMahon takes time and is back in the batter's box. The runners take their leads. And Jim takes another, as we have a conference at the mound. The pitcher, as he has given up 3 runs here in the bottom of the first, and we have runners on the corners. And there's only 1 out in the inning. And we are back here for this at bat. And the first pitch of this at bat is a strike. 0-1. For number 4, McMahon. The pitch is hit a high grounder to the shortstop, and that will be the second out of the bottom of the first. However, there is a run scored, making the score 4-0 in favor of the Canton Bulldogs. Jenkins with the score in that one. And now we have number 44 up for Canton. Anthony Mackey up to bat for the Bulldogs. As we now have a Bulldog, number 3, Mr. Hamrock, on second base. Only 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. And that was a strike. It is 0-1. As a swing and a miss, the count is even at 1 apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that is another balk for the pitcher, the second one of this inning. As Mr. Hamrock, number 3, will move on to third base.
Come on.
Number 44, Matthew, waiting for the pitch. And it is coming sailing down the plate, and it is sailing high in the air, and it will be caught by the second baseman. And that is the end of the first inning, with the score 4-0 in favor of the Canton Bulldogs. And here's the pitch for the second part, the first part of the second inning. You need to do a tap shoulder thing. When you do that thing when you tap me on the shoulder when you started, you do that again.
When you tap your shoulder.
You remember when you tapped me on the shoulder when you started?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll do
Same.
that again.
Okay.
Switch up again. The pitch And it is a little dribbler down the first base line, and Doyle, the left-hander, will dance his way over to the first base line. And Powers is pitching for the Bulldogs on this glorious, beautiful opening day. Pierce is up at bat, and that is a strike. And that is a strike. 2 strikes. 0 balls. Over to the count. Kevin Powers has yet to give up a run in this game. Hopefully that doesn't jinx anything, and that is the first ball of this at bat. And the hitless first inning for Kevin Powers, and he looks to keep that going. That ball is a high sailing ball deep into right field, and it is caught for the first out of the second inning as Mr. Hamrock with the catch, deep in right field. And Lenahan is up for the Foxboro Warriors here in the top of the second inning. One and 0 the count. The pitch from Powers, and it is a swing and a miss. 1-1. Two strikes for the Foxboro hitter. Lenahan is up. Lenahan has 2 strikes on him and 1 ball. As Powers' pitch is high, and that evens the count at 2 apiece. As there will be a meeting with the pitcher, out comes the head coach for Canton and the catcher.
Do you know if it's which one first? Do you know who's pitcher and who's third? Yeah, for the one. I'm gonna go in first base. Who's the outfield? Who's pitching? No. That's a Justin stuff. I know it's just no, it's just your first name. No pressure. Pressure what? Pressure what? Just catcher. And here we go, ready to restart, ready to go with this at bat. As number 14, Powers' pitch is a strikeout, and he has 2 scoreless innings under his belt as we go into the bottom of the second with the score: Canton Bulldogs 4, the Foxboro Warriors 0. I was saying 4, that's the score right now.
How's it going? Good?
Give yourself a good.
And here we go with the bottom of the lineup for the Bulldogs after their stellar first inning, where they scored 4 total runs. Casamento's hit is up the middle, and it escapes the shortstop, and he will have a base hit to start off this second inning as number 40 advances to first base. And back to the top of the lineup is Joe Escher. He was walked last inning. It's an 0-for-1, and let's see what he can do with this at bat. Number 19, the senior. as the wind starts to pick up here at Gibson Field. Not much, but it's noticeable. And as the pitcher checks back on his runner, number 40 remains safe at first base. Cavossa and the running for second base, and he is safe, is number 40 for the Bulldogs, Casamento. What happened? What happened to your team? What happened to the pressure? Did you get walked for that?
I mean, it just nicked him. I mean, I only heard it. I didn't see it, but it hit him.
And Joe Pescia advances to first base as we have runners on second and first. And up is the second man in the lineup, the pitcher, the senior, the all-around great hitter, Kevin Powers. And his hit is a chopper right down to second base, and it'll be one. And both runners are safe. What a great play by number 14, Powers, as we have the bases loaded here for the Bulldogs. Griffin Jerry are back up at bat.
Play back. Nobody out.
Last time Griffin Jerry was up, he had a pop fly out to right field. Let's see what he can do with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. And that is a ball. There's no outs here for the Bulldogs, but the bases loaded. And that is a booming hit down to left field. But the runners will tag, and that makes the score 5-0 in favor of the Bulldogs, as number 40, Casamento, with the score. An RBI flyout for Mr. Jerry. And now we still have runners on first and second. And Sean Doyle is now up at bat. The stellar left-handed hitter is now up at bat. And looks like we will have a pinch runner for Canton. Number 14 will be subbed out on first base for number 32. For number 32, Hartnett, Danny Hartnett, who takes his lead at first base. And Doyle hits a booming hit right into left field. And that throw will miss first base, but it advances the runner from second to third. As now we have runners on the corners once again for the Bulldogs, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. With the score, Bulldogs 5, Warriors 0. On this glorious opening day here at Gibson Field at Canton High School. The pitch is down in the dirt. 1-0. The pitch is thrown, and it is a strike. 1-1 the count.
Mr. McDonough?
Yeah, for Canton Community
I
Television.
cannot tell you how alert you have to be right here. This is a very, very, very
And there is a ball. The count is 2-1.
high traffic, guys. Okay, be careful.
The pitch, and it is slammed in between second base and first base and into center field. There'll be a base hit for the Bulldogs. And it will score another run in for the Bulldogs, making it 6-0. Cavossa has given up 6 runs in an inning and 2/3. And Jimmy Hamrock is up for the Bulldogs. He has been all over the field so far. He's catching balls in left field, hitting RBI hits. Mr. Hamrock is doing it all. in a short period of time. One on the count. And it is a swing and a miss. And that will be the end of the second inning. With the score, the Canton Bulldogs 6, the Foxboro Warriors 0.
Rolling.
And here we are at the top of the third inning. With Mr. Powers again at the helm. And that is a deep line drive, and it is caught by the second baseman. And it'll be the first out of the third inning. As the scoreless and the hitless run for number 14, the senior, Mr. Kevin Powers, continues. And there we go, number 15 up for the Warriors. At the bottom of the lineup here for the Warriors, and that will be another ball. We're here on the top of the third inning, and that hit is a grounder to the shortstop, and that will be out as the Foxboro hitter almost just barely doesn't make it to the bag. And there are 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. On a glorious opening day here at Gibson Field in Canton, Massachusetts. Oh, and 1 the count to right of the Foxboro Warriors, and it is 2-0 to Mr. Wright. Not Wright, the hitter. And he was out the last time, and he is 0 for 1. Let's see what he does this time, as his team is trailing by 6 runs here in the top of the third inning. And that is a straight right down the middle. 2-1. The pitch is a hard line drive hit in between left and right field, and Mr. Hamrock making just a star play out there in left field, getting the last out in both the second and the third inning. What a player that man is. And here we go into the bottom of the third inning with the score: Bulldogs 6, Warriors 0. And here we go in the bottom of the third inning as McMahon, number 4, is up for the Bulldogs.
What did McMahon do last time?
0-1 is McMahon as he was walked last at bat. And it is a strike. 0-1 is the count. That is a foul chip back in the dugout of his teammates. And 0-2 to McMahon.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Cavossa trying to get out of this inning without somebody scoring, and that ball is foul as it just went outside the line as it reached the first base bag. So with the count 1-2, McMahon will look to get something cooking. He looks to get that hit. Get on base at least, and that ball is sailing deep into the middle of the field, and that ball is dropped as a swarm of Warriors just clog around just on the grass of the second base, just outside second base, right on the grass, and the ball was caught and then dropped out of the hand, resulting in a single for McMahon. And Matthews up for the Bulldogs. He had a stellar performance last time at the plate. He had a RBI single, and that opened the floodgates for the Bulldogs. And McMahon takes his lead. The pitch, and there is a foul ball, and making the runner for Canton, Mr. McMahon, back to first base.
How many steals has he had? How many stolen bases? Should I go four? Should I go this four?
And McMahon looking for the fifth stolen base for Canton in just 2 innings. Really? 2-1 the count. To number 44, Anthony Mackey. Maffey.
You're up! On the bag! Pick that. Pick it. Show it off. Pick it. You got nobody. Anything to your left, get here.
That is the 5th stolen base for the Bulldogs. And that is the second ball. And is a walk for Anthony Maffey as he gets on to first base. And number 9 hitter, Casamento, is up for the Bulldogs. As the Bulldogs have no outs in the bottom of the 3rd, and they lead by 6 runs. That ball is deep into center field. The runner is running, and it is just missing. He just overruns the ball. And the bases. Whoa. The almost loaded. The second base runner, number 44, Matthew, was out, but they now have runners on the corners. McMahon on 3rd. Maffey on 1st. Pesha at bat. And that is a strike. 0-1 to the number 1 hitter, the top of the lineup. Casamento going for the steal. And that ball will be deep into left field. And the runners for Canton just sprinting around the track. There is a track meet going on here in Canton, as that is an RBI triple for. That is an RBI triple for Joe Pesha, which was a great hit. It looked like a track meet was going on here at the baseball diamond. Canton athletes were running all around the field, and that results in 2 runs for the Bulldogs, making the overall score 8-0 in the bottom of this 3rd inning. That was a track meet we just saw, as that ball went almost to the fence in deep left field. That is 324 feet away. What hit by Joe Pesha as he is on 3rd base. And the pitcher, number 14, Powers, takes a strike, and it is 1-1 the count to the pitcher. As Canton is now leading this game by a score of 8-0, and there is only 1 out in the bottom of this 3rd inning. That is a pass ball, but Powers tells Mr. Joe Pesha to stay on 3rd base. 2-2 the count, as the wind is starting to pick up here once again. Yet again, not much to change the course of the game, but it is noticeable. It has picked up just a little bit. And the pitch. And there's a swing and a foul tip for Mr. Powers, as the count remains 2-2. His number 5 is still pitching for Cavossa, is pitching for the Warriors. For the Foxboro Warriors.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2. Let's see what Kevin Powell's number 14 can do for the Bulldogs.
as he has a runner on third. And it is another pass ball for the Warriors. Full count. Let's see what the payoff pitch brings to the pitcher as we have a pitcher's duel in another sense of the word. The pitcher is pitching to the pitcher. As number 14, Kevin Powers, the pitcher for Canton, is up at bat. And that will be a walk for the pitcher as the Canton pitcher gets walked to first base.
Got time, please? 15 to 14.
Still 2 bases. How do you get on base?
And that is a 2-1. He's 2 for 1 in this game. That is actually he's 1 for 2. That was a single and 2 walks in the first inning, and the Powers twins will switch out as Kevin Powers will once again have Sony pinch run for him. This time, instead of Danny Hernandez, it is his twin brother, Jason Powers, who is just 1 number above his brother, wearing number 15. His brother wearing number 14. Griffin Jerrier is up for Canton, and there will be a meeting of the minds at the mound in the center of the field. Jason Powers and Kevin Powers have been playing baseball for an awfully long time, definitely during their careers here at Canton High School. Jason Powers and Kevin Powers were instrumental in the playoff run the Bulldogs had last year, which was the first time they had made the playoffs in over a decade, and they advanced far into it. It was a great showing for the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can continue in this great season. They are off to a fantastic start. Let's see if they can keep it up, because the Bulldogs have shown no signs of stopping in this game thus far. There's a ball, the first pitch, 1-0 the count, as the Bulldogs are leading 8-0. 8-0. Against the hard-fighting Foxboro Warriors, who, despite what the scoreboard says, keep fighting and fighting. As we are only in the bottom of the 3rd inning, there's still a ton of baseball left to play. Cavossa checks the runner at third base, and it is another ball. 3-0 the count. And Griffin Jerry are looking to be the 4th walk given up by Cavossa. One resulted in a run. Joe Pescia is on third. Jason Powers is on first base, and that is a strike, making the count 3-1 to Mr. Jerry. The pitch is down in the dirt, and that will be the 4th walk for the pitcher from Foxboro. The second has back-to-back walks. Cavossa, back-to-back walks. And they will have another meeting of the minds, only this time Foxboro will. And looks like we have a pitching change here, as Cavossa will come out after 2 innings, because there is still no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Finn is now in for the Bulldogs. Finn is now in for the Foxboro Warriors. Number 2, as he will now warm up, as we have runners on 2nd and 3rd. Joe Pescia is on 3rd base. And number 15, Jason Powers, who is pinch running for his brother Kevin Powers, is on 2nd base. And Griffin Jerrier, who has just walked, is on first base. As Sean Doyle, Mr. Doyle, is up, the stellar left-hander who has just been getting hit after hit here
in this game is up at bat with the bases loaded, and Canton holding up a 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. That was this, isn't it? As we've had a long bottom of the third inning, as Canton continues to rattle off the hits. This opening day here at Gibson Field is a glorious day, unlike the past 2 attempts to get a baseball game in. Despite what some people may think, in New England, it can snow in April, and it did. And that caused the end for the postpone of the first game. Then rain caused the postpone of the game last week. So this is the first game the Bulldogs have played all season, and it looks like they haven't skipped a beat. And here we go. Bases are loaded. The stellar left-handed Mr. Doyle is up at bat, number 34. And that is a strike. But that is a balk. That is a balk on the first pitch of Finn's pitching experience in this game. As a balk, and it will result in a run for the Bulldogs, making the score 9-0. They're on the bottom of the third with 1 out. And that is a foul ball off to the side of the Bulldog bench. 0-2 the count. We have runners on second and third as the Bulldogs are leading 9-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. One and 2 for Doyle, the senior, number 34. Finn winds up. The pitch is swung and missed, and it will be 1 ball, 2 strikes for Mr. Doyle. And that is a strike. And that will be the end of Mr. Doyle as he strikes out, and that will be 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Sean scored the last time he was up, and then was out the second time with a line drive and struck out the third, and up comes Jim Jenkins for the Bulldogs. Number 18, the senior, up at bat. Coming right off a RBI hit, his last at bat, that RBI single had scored more runs than for Canton. The count is 2-0 for Mr. Jenkins, as Finn is trying to get out of this inning without digging his team into a double-digit deficit. That is a pass ball for the Foxboro Warriors. 3-0 the count, with runners on third and second. The sun glaring down at the right fielder. He's been the subject of most of the hits from the Bulldogs, as those hits have gone straight down the line. That is a powerful sun, let me tell you. They don't tell you to not look at the sun for no reason. And the pitch is down in the dirt, and that will be yet another walk for the Bulldogs, as the Warriors yet again give up another walk, the third of this inning. 5 in total between Cavossa and Finn.
And Mr. Hamrock is up, and he swings and misses, and that will be 0-1. Mr. Hamrock has been all over the field, catching both the final and the second and third inning, and has multiple RBI hits in this game. I remind you, it is only the bottom of the third inning, as number 3 is up at bat. And Jimmy actually started off this inning, so we've gone through the order at least once. One and 2 to count.
Great spot, John.
It is 1-1. 2-2. Excuse me, it was 2-2 to count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is hammered, and it is dropped by the first baseman. It's number 24, and he will be safe, but at home with through the players, and he is safe. Is number 9, Mr. Jerrier, making the score into the double digits, 10-0 in favor of the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs. The double, 2 for the price of 1, a single, but 2 runs scored. So excuse me, the score is 11-1, 11-0. There's so many runs, I can't keep track of them anymore. And here we go, Mr. McMahon back up at bat for the second time this inning, as he hammers one deep into the gap of center field, and it is deep around 300 feet into the middle of center field. And it is 12-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. That's the first RBI for Mr. McMahon. Maffey, number 44, who actually recorded the first out of this inning way back when, is up at bat. With runners on the corners, we have McMahon on first and Hamrock on third. Maffey swings and gets a foul tip. 1-1 the count. And yes, we are still in the bottom of the third inning. There are 2 outs. On a gorgeous day here at Gibson Field and opening day. Maffey is 1 for 1 here, 1 of 2. He had a single his first at bat and then was walked, and now has a dribbler down the first base line, and the ball is dead. So everybody moves back to their bases. Runners back in the corners. The bases are loaded after Maffey gets to first base. We have Casamento up for the Bulldogs, number 40, as he has the bases loaded, and Finn continues to strive through as he has been for 2/3 of an inning, as the bases are once again loaded for the Bulldogs. That is a strike. 1-1 the count, as we are in the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs. The Bulldogs lead 12-0. That is now a foul ball. 1-2. Full bases. Maffey on first, McMahon on second, and Hamrock on third. Casamento at the plate. And that will be a ball. 2-2 is the count.
as the wind once again starts to pick up again. Again, not enough to affect anything, but it is noticeable. The pitch is down in the dirt, and we have a full count with the bases full in the bottom of the third. 2 outs. What will happen? We will find out soon enough. Finn winds up. The pitch is down in the dirt. And that'll be another walk, and Canton will score another run, as that is the 6th walk for the Bulldogs, as they've received the 6th walk in this whole game, and 4 in this inning. As the score is now Canton Bulldogs 13 of Foxboro Warriors nothing. Pesha is up again, as he scored the last time he was up in this inning, and then scored the other time he was up. This is his 4th time at bat in the 3rd inning. And that is a strike. 1-2 the count. Son number 19, Joe Pesha. And that will be the end of the 3rd inning with the score: the Canton Bulldogs 13, the Foxboro Warriors 0. 7, count them, 7 runs were scored by the Bulldogs in that 3rd inning. For reference, they scored 4 in the 1st inning, 1 in the 2nd, and 7 in the 3rd. And here we go with the top of the 4th. And we are up at the top of the 4th inning, as Powers is back pitching for Canton. And that is a throw right to the pitcher, and he continues his scoreless and hitless appearance in this opening day, as there's 1 out in the top of the 1st inning. And Kelly, who's been one of the few Warriors on base, was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning and was not on base the 2nd time he was up. So here we go. And that is a foul tip right over our heads and into the other game in the opposite field. Nobody was hit, which is a good thing. Everybody's good. And that is the first hit for the Warriors in the 4th inning, as they get a man to get a hit. Kelly with the first hit for the Warriors, as the pitcher, number 2, Finn, is up for the Warriors, and he takes a first pitch strike. 0-1. And Finn is in for Cavossa, and that is a high ball, 1-1. Finn took over for Cavossa, who lasted a solid 1 2/3 innings. 1 inning, or no wait, 2 innings, 2 solid innings. Finn lasted the finish out the 3rd, and now he's up at bat in the 4th inning. Here we go, and that pitch is hammered down into right field, and he will get a single, as they now have runners on 2nd and 1st. Kelly on 2nd, Finn on 1st, and the Bulldogs are getting to have to play a little defense, even though they were playing it before. They're having a longer period than they normally would. Here we go. Powers trying to regather himself after this
back-to-back hits, and that is a hit to the shortstop, and that ball is recovered and thrown to the first baseman for the second out of the fourth inning, the top of the fourth. Pierce, who struck out his last time, is up for the Warriors. Number 35, Pierce. As there are runners on second and third for the Warriors, because they have advanced the whole game. 2-0 the count. The pitch from Powers is a strike right down the middle. 2-1 the count. Powers' pitch is fouled off into the backstop. 2-2 to count. Bounced off the top of the grade here at Gibson Field and then landed in the Foxboro dugout, and luckily it missed everyone. And that is a high ball. 3-1. Full count. 3-2. The pitch is a walk, and that is the second walk given up by Powers in this whole game. As for the first time in the whole game, the Warriors, yes, the Warriors, have the bases loaded. Linehan is up, and that is a strike off the check swing. Linehan was out last time, and he is the seventh man up for the Warriors. And that is a strike. 1-2 to count. One and two. And there are 3 potential runs on the field for the Warriors. They are looking to take a good-sized chunk out of the Canton lead. And that ball is high, sailing deep into center field. And once again, Mr. Hamrock gets the final out of the inning, as that man is a machine. So at the end of 3.5, the score is the Canton Bulldogs 13, the Foxboro Warriors 0, as they leave the bases loaded. And here we go with the ball to start off the bottom of the 4th inning. As number 14, the pitcher, Mr. Powers, who had a large amount of hits, is now up 4 hits, 4th at bat in 4 innings. Number 14 is up for the 4th time in 4 innings. Here in the bottom of the 4th, as the score is 13-0. The pitch is fouled off into the fence of his own teammates. 2-1 the count.
How many outs were there? Oh, those are the first ones.
That ball is high sailing, and it is it lands right next to the line for a fair ball. The umpire was right there. He was in front of the action, and that ball landed just hugging the line of the foul line right next to us in right field. And number 9, Mr. Jerry is up for the 4th time in 4 innings. As Kevin Powers is on first base. Shockingly, he has stayed on first base, no pinch hitter so far. As we have seen, he has had
Danny Harnett and his brother Jason Powers pinch hit for him recently.
Use the middle.
0-2 to count to Mr. Jerrier, the senior number 9. As Finn settles in for the pitch. The pitch is a swing and a miss. And that is a strikeout. The second of which for number 2, Finn of the Warriors. And the spectacular left-hander Sean Doyle is up for the Bulldogs. The checking on Mr. Powers, the pitcher, at first base, and he will be safe here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And there's 1 out as the sun is shining down here at Gibson Field. And that is another balk for Foxboro. The 6th balk between Finn and Cavossa. As that once again moves the Canton runner over to the next base, which moves Powers from first to second. Those balks have just balks and walks. That was not meant to rhyme. Balks and walks have just been killing the Warriors right now. They have given up so many of them, it has resulted in a number of runs. And if they're trying to get back in this game, they got to cut down on the number of balks and definitely the number of walks. Two and 1 the count to number 34, a senior, Mr. Sean Doyle. Finn's pitch is another balk, the 7th balk, as they will have another meeting at the mound, as Powers will move from first to second to third in this at bat off of 2 balks. Two and 1 to the spectacular left-hander. As number 2, Mr. Finn is rattled at the mound, which is understandable. If I gave up as many runs and got subbed in, I would be rattled too. So can't blame the guy. He's still out there trying. He's still doing a good job too. It's not like they've given up a ton of runs recently. And here we go, here's the pitch. And that is another strikeout for Finn, as that is the 3rd in his 2 innings on the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts. As Jim Jenkins is up to bat for the Bulldogs. He has scored at least a couple of the runs for the Bulldogs. There's strike, 0-1. And the wind is picking up again, but Jim's pitch, he hit the pitch, and it will go right back to the pitcher, and that will be the end of the 4th inning. So at the end of 4, this is the only inning the Bulldogs have not scored a run in so far. At the end of 4, this score is the Canton Bulldogs 13, the Foxboro Warriors 0.
That early release program, it's just too expensive.
But Mommy, what about the early release programs at the Canton Rec Department?
I've never heard of that program before. Wow, that's really affordable. I wonder if they have anything for your brother. Wow, look at how incredibly diverse and affordable these programs are. So it's settled then. You're going to one of the early release programs of the Canton Rec Department.
here we go at the top of the 5th inning as Powers is settling in for another day in the office. And that pitch is down to the shortstop, and there'll be an out, a ground rule straight to Mr. Save. Number 1. That is a foul. Number 15, the bottom of the order for the Foxboro Warriors, just hit a foul ball, making the count 0-1 as Powers looking to muster his way through this inning and continue on with his scoreless performance. That ball was in the dirt, 1-1. The pitch is once again a grounder to the shortstop, the second baseman, Mr. Sade, who does have a DH batting form. That is why we have not seen him bat, but we see him all the time in the field. Number 1, Mr. Sade, who's been playing baseball all his life and is continuing this year. Had an off field last year, but now is back on the field. The pitch is a strike, 0-1. At the top of the lineup now. Right is up for the Foxboro Warriors. One and 1 the count. Right is 0 for 2 in this game. This is his 3rd at bat in the 5th inning. 2 balls, 1 strike. The windup is slow, but the delivery is fast. And there's a chopper down to the second baseman. It will be not in time, as that will be safe for number 19, Wright, who has the 3rd hit of this game for the Foxboro Warriors. Just in time, he made it to the bag right before the ball, as the ball was a little bit over the first baseman, number 34, Doyle's head. And that pitch will be hit, and that will be the end of the 5th inning. And this time, for the first time in 3 innings, Mr. Hamrock does not get the final out. So at the end of 4 1/2, the score remains the Canton Bulldogs 13, the Foxboro Warriors 0.
7 times. We're not quite thinking. How many times is he up? What time is he up? This is 4.
And that is a strike for Mr. Hamrock. And he is 1 for 3 in this game, as he was walked a couple times and got a hit. One and 1 the count to the outstanding right fielder, who for the first time in 3 innings did not get the final out. But I'm sure he's okay with that. He is a team player. 1 and 2 the count as the wind starts to pick up, and it is the most significant it has been all day, but yet again, not entirely affecting the game. Maybe a little, but it has already died down. So that's that, and Jimmy Hamrock strikes out for the first time all day. McMahon up to bat for the Bulldogs as Finn records yet another strikeout on Mr. Hamrock. McMahon is 2 for 3 in this game, scoring a couple of runs, and that ball is into shallow right field, and he will get another single.
singles in the
That's his third single of the day. Finn's pitch is off to Maffey. Maffey gets the ball into left field for the first time all day. This ball going to left field. The bottom of the lineup is where Canton has done most of its damage. The majority of their runs, the 13 of them, have come from the bottom of the lineup. And we are having a substitution here. Casamento is being subbed out for Maffeo. So we have number 38 subbing in for number 40. Jackson Maffeo subbing in for Casamento as I consult my statistician, who is great, by the way. The pitch is down in the dirt. 0-2 the count to the pinch hitter, number 38, Maffeo. And that is down in the dirt once again. 1-2 the count as we have runners on second and first base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that ball will be bobbled, but will be out. And that ends the 5th inning. That's the second out. Oh, why is it so confusing these days? A second out for the Bulldogs as we continue in the bottom of the 5th inning. As we are back at the top of the lineup, as we have the catcher, Mr. Pesha, who hits a line drive and is fouled down the first base line. This is Pesha's 5th time at bat.
Loosen up.
The pitch. 1-1 the count. Pesha has been up numerous times. He hit the RBI triple, clearing the bases, and that was instrumental in building the Canton lead. And he was up 2 times in that inning. It was the 3rd inning. He was up 2 times. He was ironically the last striker of the inning, and that ball is up high and is foul way down deep the right field, and it is fouled way out of play and deep into the bushes of Gibson Field. Pesha has another foul tip. Working the count. 1-2 the count. Which he is working. Back-to-back fouls for Pesha as Finn looks to end this inning. And that is the end, and 3 strikeouts for Finn as he is just racking up the Ks. So at the end of 5, the score is the Canton Bulldogs 13, the Foxboro Warriors 0. And here we are at the top of the 6th inning, where Powers is still going strong, and his opponent, the batter, is Kelly from Foxboro, who had the first hit of the game. And that ball is flying way past us, just by, and Kelly will have an easy done. As Canton has subbed out the first baseman, number 34, the spectacular left-hander, Mr. Doyle, has been subbed out for number 24,
Mr. Steve, the senior goalie. Down in the dirt. And up is Finn for the Foxboro Warriors. The man has 6 strikeouts and recorded the second hit for Foxboro. He may have given up a handful of runs, but he has certainly made up for it in strikeouts. And his batting productivity, and that is a foul ball flying far into the forest. One and 2 to count to Finn. As the wind is picking up once again. But once again, not enough to be significant. You've been sensing a pattern. Hi, Jeffrey. And here we go. Kevin Powers is winding up, ready to pitch, and the pitch is a strike. And that will be the end for Finn. The man who struck out 6 people has been struck out himself. And now, up to bat is number 24. And Whitling is up for the Bulldogs, and that is a strike. He's up for the Warriors, excuse me. I am getting confused. 0-1 the count to the Foxboro Warrior, and that is a foul tip, and that's a foul tip. So 0-2 the count. 0 for 2 for Whitling of the Foxboro Warriors. And the count is also 0-2. Let's see if this pitch changes anything. It is now 1-2. We're still going with the scoreless game here as we are in the top of the 6th inning. Two back-to-back strikeouts. So a game of one-upsmanship we have going on here. Probably not intentional, but Kevin Powers has also struck out back-to-back batters. And that is a high sailing ball. The sound off the bat was just immense. That was a deep sounding thud off the bat of the Foxboro Warrior. Fierce. Hit the fierce ball off of the bat of his own bat. So at the end of 4.5, the score remains 13-0 in favor of the Canton Bulldogs. And here we are with the pitcher, Mr. Powers, here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As the score is 13-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. And there is a third pitcher on the field as that ball goes straight up through left field. As Kevin Powers gets another single for the Bulldogs. And here we go with the next at bat. And Mr. Jerry is up at bat. That is a ball, 1-0. Block is the new pitcher for the Foxboro Warriors. He's the third pitcher, and he wears the number 33. After a great performance by Finn, who had 6 strikeouts, but walked a few and had a few balks and gave up a handful of runs. So number 33 is in as the third pitcher, and that ball will go straight to second, and there will be a double play that retires both Griffin Jerrier and Kevin Powers. The first double play we've seen all day and all game long. And Mr. Gore is up for the Bulldogs as he came in for the spectacular left-hander, Mr. Doyle, and the pitch is a strike for number 33, Block.
1-0. The pitch is a swing and a miss, 0-2. And the pitch, and it is a strike, and that ends the 6th inning for a strikeout. As the Bulldogs go down 1, 2, 3, and that is the second inning to end in a strikeout. So at the end of 6, it is the Canton Bulldogs 13, the Foxboro Warriors 0. And here we go for the top of the 7th inning, as Powers is still in for the Bulldogs. And that is the first strike of the 7th inning, as the count is 0-1.
Come on, butt.
That is a foul ball into the bushes behind the dugout of the Foxboro Warriors. 0-2. 1-2. The Foxboro Warrior is out at first base. Number 7. As Powers has 1 out in the top of the 7th. That is the first strike of the bat, 0-1. Crisco, number 12, for the Foxboro Warriors. That is high into right field, as Mr. Hamrock does handle the ball, but it results in one of the few singles, one of the few hits for the Foxboro Warriors. Number 15 is up for the Foxboro Warriors, as he was looking to get just the 6th hit for the Foxboro Warriors. 0-1 the count. Bowers has a foul ball. Two strikes, 0-2. The runner takes his lead. Powers' pitch is right down the middle to the second baseman, and they were looking to get a double play. Does the Bulldogs, but Noah Said was tripped up by the runner and was not able to. So number 15 does get to the base. Wright is up to bat for the Foxboro Warriors. He had a single last time he was up, and he is 1 for 3. He was out the previous 2 times, and he just fouled that ball off. So the count is 0-1 as the sun is starting to set here at opening day at Gibson Field. That is another strike. 0-2 the count. Here in the top of the 7th, where the Canton Bulldogs lead by a score of 13-0. Two outs in this game. And that ball is over the head of a leaping Mike McMahon, as he jumped at least 3 to 5 feet in the air. He jumped like a leapfrog. Number 14, Galante, is up for the Foxboro Warriors. He is 0 for 3. Mr. McMahon just jumped very far. He should do the long jump, because that was a very high jump. Good thing he plays football because he will do excellent in the vertical jump. That was insane. It is a 0-2 count for Galani. The pitch is hammered right to the third baseman, and then that will retire the side. So it's time to stretch here in the seventh, coming into the bottom of the seventh, and yeah. So the Bulldogs will not have the bats, and that is the end of the baseball game here. With great pitching, a complete game, a shutout for Kevin Powers, and a great effort by the Foxboro Warriors. So, at the end of this one, it is a final score of the Canton Bulldogs 13, that is 13, versus the Foxboro Warriors 0. 13-0 your final. I'm Kevin Prague for King Community Television, and along with my cameraman Jameson Smith and Nicholas McGregor. Have a great day from opening day here at Gibson Field.
This has been a Signature Voice production.